like to share the journey of 2 years from January 2014 to the end of December 2015. Partners from 6 European member states have been working in a successful Grundtvig multilateral project. The project objectives are to help marginalised groups such as migrants and ethnic minorities to integrate into society. The idea is to improve communication between migrants and public authorities, as well as to break down cultural misunderstandings and prejudices. The purpose of the project is also to raise awareness about other cultures. The idea for the project developed in response to a big demand for intercultural training that bridges the gaps between migrants and public sectors. The lead partner is Community Action Decorum, and the idea was developed from a previous project called Language Interpreter Training as a Stepping Stone to Work, a Leonardo da Vinci project, and also from seeing how Italian partners use cultural ambassadors. As we know, low language skills are one barrier for the target group, and this application develops partner cooperation to the next level, to develop tools to address political and cultural awareness and bridge the gap between the target groups and public services. The more understanding you have of how society operates, the more likely you are to belong and participate in society. We recognise the value of all project stakeholders having mutual understanding and respect. From the start, learners and public services involved in the project have shown keen interest in the results. There is no doubt that day to day our societies are becoming multi-ethnic and multicultural. Since most organisations are in contact with minority groups on a daily basis, the service providers should have some knowledge of other cultures, as well as amongst migrants, about their new societies. Research was carried out to see where there are gaps in provision. It highlighted that the vast majority of migrant groups encounter difficulties through communication problems. Lack of cultural understanding and language barriers can sometimes create more problems, which can then lead to discrimination and harassment. Body language also plays a huge part in communication. Several statements indicated that communication problems were solved with body language. But body language, attitudes and facial expressions, intentional or not, can also cause misunderstandings. Not knowing the cultural ethics can also lead to people believing that they have been discriminated against or harassed, when in fact this is not the case. Even though cultural and linguistic barriers are not preventing people from using services, they still face barriers to have full access to the services and inclusion in society. Language is still the key to integration, and cultural awareness is closely linked to language. The research identified that while there is frequent contact with public sector staff, intercultural training and awareness is not necessarily present in the working environment. Findings in the research from several of the partner countries indicated that there is little or no intercultural training available to the services. This is simply not offered as a course to the services, nor is it seen as a need. In conclusion, the need was identified to create an intercultural training that will raise knowledge of public services and their staffs so the integration process is made easy. Looking ahead, the next step was to develop an intercultural training course which contributed to strengthening the confidence amongst all stakeholders to take more initiatives in breaking down communication barriers. First, 2 pilot courses were developed which helped the participants to find their way around the new city and to learn more about their authorities offering different services. In all partner countries, guest speakers from the public sector were invited to provide sessions to share their work and raise awareness about their services. At the end of the course, learners were more empowered by knowing what public services are out there and how they work. Once the pilot courses had been provided, all partners trained 7 or 8 participants in each country as intercultural ambassadors, and, at the end of their training, they ran their own workshops to the public sector staff. During the training, they made the authority representatives aware of both the cultural differences and cultural misunderstandings which exist. Over the 2-year project period, each country held 2 pilot courses and an intercultural ambassadors workshop. Through the pilot courses, the partners have provided information and knowledge to 72 migrants aged 18 to 60, with more than 60 guest speakers. The ethnic background of the participants has been very diverse. In total, there were 33 countries, and most of them were non-European countries. The training of the course used social media and e-learning platforms to provide course materials to download. It also used YouTube videos, glossaries, and links to relevant web pages. The impact on trainees' knowledge and skills and attitude changes have been many, including feelings of belonging to a community, awareness of using services and advice to improve their situation, receiving information and advice about job seeking and finance courses after arranging appointments with the different institutions, feeling more prepared to go about their daily life, since they are aware of which services to go to and which services are free, gaining self-confidence and communication skills in terms of speaking to a large audience. Most of the participants are unofficially acting as cultural ambassadors for their communities. Networking is also taking place amongst the participants and public service providers. And lastly, motivation to learn about the public sectors to be a professional intercultural ambassador. The training was provided with facts about different cultures, which had a really good response. Other feedback received from the public services was that the training was too short, and they wanted to know more from intercultural ambassadors and to have a longer discussion with them. Institutions such as non-governmental organisations, job centres and educational advice centres were particularly interested in working with the project, given that they often find it difficult to introduce their services to their target group, which is mainly migrants.
Wie hast du, Entschuldigung, das Training insgesamt gefunden? Was würdest du sagen? Also ganz insgesamt?
Ich denke, alles voll gut. Ich habe nicht eine negative Seite gesehen. Hat mir sehr viel geholfen. Und das kann ich mir vorstellen, die Ausländer und die Leute, ist interessant, die andere Kultur, bestimmt deutsche Kultur kennenlernen, müssen unbedingt diese Kurse besuchen.
Okay, also und du hast nicht nur profitiert, irgendwie über die deutsche Kultur zu erfahren und über deine Kultur zu sprechen, sondern du hast auch was gelernt über andere Kultur von Leuten von dem Kurs.
Genau, wir waren so viele verschiedene Kulturen. Ich habe die Kultur von Araber, von zum Beispiel ukrainische, bulgarische, spanische, argentinische, ich konnte einfach, habe ich nicht gekannt, was ist die Kultur, was ist interessant für die Leute.
Coordinate together.
What were the positives and negatives of the training, and what would you have changed?
It's a very good positive step to bring people of different cultures and backgrounds together and understand each other to integrate in the local culture and community. But negative point is this, that a very strong message and a program needed for host community to give easy space for other ethnic communities and cultures to integrate with them easily.
Did you feel equipped enough for the workshop, and how did that go?
After the workshop, I feel equipped, but not enough, because I feel that the community public services could have done more and better to bring intercultural.
Evet, bizim projemiz sayesinde neler kazandın?
Merhabalar, ben Haluk Kılanmış. Tekirdağ Süleymanpaşa'da Roman Mahallesi'nde yaşayan 7000 kişiden sadece 5 üniversite mezunu olan gençlerimizden birisiyim. Bu proje sayesinde tüm kamu kurumlarını tanıma fırsatım oldu. Süleymanpaşa Belediyesi'nde kendimi tanıtma fırsatı buldum. Sonrasında ise belediyede Sosyal Yardım İşleri Müdürlüğü'nde çalışmaya başladım.
Peki bu proje sana ne kazandırdı?
Bu projede romanların da kamu kurumunda çalışabilir nitelikte olduğunu, romanların da gerçekten bu işleri becerebileceğini, sadece hamallık, balıkçılık, esnaflık dışında memur da olabileceğini, hatta ileride milletvekili, başbakan, cumhurbaşkanı da çıkarabileceğini insanlarımız öğrenmiş oldu.
Ο Αλβανός μετανάστης όταν ήρθε εδώ, όπως και οι άλλοι, έχασε την ταυτότητα. Και εδώ συνέβαλε και το γεγονός πως 1998, όταν είναι η πρώτη νομιμοποίηση, στην αίτηση υπήρχε και μια ερώτηση, ποια είναι η θρησκεία. Άρα, εάν ο Αλβανός έχει το όνομα, ας πούμε, Ισμαήλ, δεν μπορούσε να γράψει εκεί είναι Ορθόδοξος. Γι' αυτό αλλάξανε πάρα πολλά άτομα, αλλάξαν τα ονόματα και αυτό βέβαια τους έβαλε σε μια διαδικασία πιο δύσκολα.